Man, every time I see that replay, Tua going down after that hit from Hamlin, it just makes her stomach drop.
Yeah, it's really tough to watch.
And I mean, it's the way he seizes up, Just scary. This is what, the third time he's been sidelined with head injury in the past couple seasons?
Right, yeah, it's a third in pretty short order. Makes you think about those long-term risks.
Yeah.
We're going to be diving into concussions today, the science behind them, and what this all might mean for Tua, for football, maybe even for sports as a whole.
Right, exactly. So I think a lot of people watching that hit, they just see two big guys colliding, but there's a lot more to it. Think about the force involved. You've got these incredible athletes moving at full speed, and then boom, that impact goes straight to their heads.
Absolutely. And it's not like hitting a punching bag or something, it's your brain basically bouncing around inside your skull.
Yeah, so like what's actually happening in the brain when that happens?
Well, officially, a concussion is what's called a mild traumatic brain injury. Your brain sees cushioned by fluid inside the skull, but a hard enough hit, it can make the brain actually hit the inside of your skull.
Oof. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Disrupts the way your brain normally works. And in Tua's case, with that hit from Hamlin, well, it's impossible to say for sure without a doctor looking at him, but big red flags there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if you don't get knocked out cold, concussions can really mess you up. Dizziness, nausea, headaches that just won't quit.
Right, exactly. Your body's telling you something's wrong.
Yeah, it's like your brain sending an SOS. And with Tua, it was even more serious. I mean, convulsing, losing consciousness, that's scary stuff.
Definitely. And, when we're talking multiple head injuries like Tua's had, we got to talk about CTE.
CTE, right. That's the long-term risk with all this, isn't it?
It is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Basically, it's a degenerative brain disease that's been found in people who've had repeated concussions, like boxers, football players, even soldiers.
Right.
And what makes CTE so scary is that it can be years, decades even, after those injuries before any symptoms show up.
Wow. So how does it actually affect people?
Well, we're talking about really serious stuff. Memory problems, trouble thinking clearly, those are common.
Hmm.
But it can also cause depression, anxiety, even dementia down the line.
Man, that's a lot to process.
It is. And while we can't say for sure what the future holds for Tua's health, we do know that every hit increases that risk.
Yeah.
But on a slightly more hopeful note, there's a lot of research happening right now. Scientists are getting better at diagnosing CTE even in people who are still alive, which is a huge deal.
Oh, wow. So they're finding ways to see it earlier.
Exactly. They're looking at things like biomarkers in blood and spinal fluid. It's really cutting edge.
Okay, so that's like a little bit of good news.
It is. And the other thing is there's a lot of focus on prevention, too.
Mm.
Newer helmets, for example, are being designed to absorb and spread out those impact forces better.
Okay, so the tech's getting better, which is good, but it still makes you wonder, is it enough? This isn't just a Tua problem, right? It's about every athlete putting their body on the line.
You got it.
So where do we go from here? Are there rule changes that could make a difference? This is something we all need to be thinking about.
Absolutely. It's a conversation that needs to happen.
Well said.